Marhaba! Welcome to MegoxCast. I am your host, John, joined by,
Salmonella.
oh yes, for this episode. Today, we will talk about nostalgia. Now, Sam, talk a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Well, I'm Sam. I've met John through a couple associated film students. I'm a film major, currently going to COC. The way John wrote me into this is he ambushed me outside of my, my black and white photography class, and brought it up a couple times. I thought it sounded great, so I think it's great that John has a podcast because I think everybody always talks about, we would have a really good time with a podcast, and then nobody ever actually puts in the work to do it. But as I understand, John does a show. You do a show every week, right?
Yes, I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, technically, we had to skip a week, but you guys will get that content, so that's good. You'll
Yeah.
get the episode that you weren't able to get, and also like just an extra episode, so that's good.
See,
So
John, if
yeah.
I was your listener with your smooth, soft voice, I would forgive you. Just hearing how that's yeah, no, it was a variety of goofs that I ended up missing last week on my end, and so I'm glad to be here. And I don't know if I have any more details about myself. Do you want to just get into the swing of it?
I do. I was just gonna say before I do, I thought it was funny that my smooth talking voice was able to, help
Well, that's for the
swing the
viewers to
ambush.
decide. That's for the listeners to decide. But I personally, I would say you're the golden goose, dude. You're the gift that keeps on giving. So,
Ah, thank you.
um,
All right.
yeah.
We can hop right into it. You're the one that helped pick this topic, so I was gonna start it off with saying, what is nostalgia? Of course, we hear it all the time, but like, what
Mhm.
is it? Obviously, we can look up the definition
Yeah,
online, and it'll
yeah.
probably just say what the definition is. But what
Wh-
what is
Where's
it?
the fun in that? Where's the fun in that?
Come on, guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that, please. All right. So, what is nostalgia? How about you start off first, Sam? What is
Well,
nostalgia?
I think I've got kind of a micro definition of it and a macro, or maybe not a definition, but a micro view and a macro view. But to me, nostalgia is a fond remembrance of something that may or may not have existed, and it can be within your lifetime and your experiences before your lifetime, way before your lifetime, centuries before your lifetime. I mean, you've got people that are nostalgic for for example, myself. I'm nostalgic for something like the Wild West, and I don't, or Western films. And I obviously have never been, a homesteader in Oklahoma or anything, but or the Colorados. But there's something about that that's alluring to me. But I think on a micro sense, nostalgia is definitely kind of a rose tinted view of something that you really, that really affected you, and it's usually the most passing things. It's things that you don't appreciate until they're gone, especially when you're younger.
Yeah, especially because I don't think too many people have it after like age 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Most people are not nostalgic. Most people are not nostalgic for like, oh man, I remember when I was 19 and I did that. I mean, I think
Guess
there
some
are.
people are, but like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and some people are nostalgic for high school, and some people are nostalgic for. Oh, I remember when I was in my 20s, and I went to Europe, and I traveled, and I missed when I was free, and to do whatever I wanted, and I think there's a beauty in that. But I really think that like on a macro level, I think really everything in the world, everything that we do, positive or negative, is driven by nostalgia, or lack thereof, I guess. But not to make it so binary, but I think like a lot of the Disneyland is a great example of like everyone has nostalgia for going to Disneyland if you've gone to Disneyland. Or and on top of that, all the things that Disneyland is built from is inherently nostalgic. Like that Main Street, first thing you do when you come in through the gates, it's all a perfectly recreated, sort of 1920s uh Western, Midwestern slash East Coast Main Street, and it's like
mhm.
there is that uh if like kind of national nostalgia, and every country has their own kind of version of that. But it's funny that it's like I think nostalgia is kind of like a funnel. Like you'll have a kind of a cultural nostalgia that then trickles down into like maybe somebody isn't nostalgic for like 1920s architecture, but they're nostalgic for Disneyland, and that eventually trickles down into themselves, and that's some part of their personality that blossoms into some other side of of who they are, what they want to do.
Yeah. Um, no, I mean that was a really good description of nostalgia. I would say for just me, obviously, we all know of the nostalgia critic. He remembers it so you don't have to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just stuff from our.
Is he still relevant? Is he still doing stuff?
No, I mean he's not relevant, but he is still doing
Thankfully, yeah. No.
stuff.
He's not a
But
listener, right? I don't want to. Yeah.
legit after I think the Pink Floyd, the Wall,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that
He
was
is
hard.
just yeah, and also after Not So Awesome, that whole scandal. I
I
don't
didn't
even
hear about that.
know,
What was
bro.
that one? What happened with that one?
Just some stuff happened where he and I mean, well, it isn't really him. I mean, it was him, but not really. It was just some stuff was happening at the Channel Awesome, um, you know, like YouTube channel corporation thing,
Yeah.
and it was not good. Like
Was it like what,
sexual
like sexual
harassment
harassment?
and
Oh yeah.
and other situations where people didn't feel safe and also
I believe
just
it.
yeah.
I believe. Yeah, yeah. Doug's kind of a. It's
I
interesting.
don't even know if it was Doug like most of the time. I
Yeah.
think it was just the fact that like there was situations where they could have done something but they didn't. So
Right.
yeah,
That's
it
that's
just
I see. So you're right. It's like the accountability of leadership rather than like exactly what the leadership
yeah,
did.
and
That's
he
that's
literally
interesting.
sold Nostalgia Critic to some dude that owns like Channel Awesome now. So it's just so dumb.
This is weird. It's just weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's kind of like I saw this great
yeah,
guy talking about Pink Floyd's the review he did of Pink Floyd's The Wall, and it's I think Doug's kind of a classic like case of he struggles to express himself artistically, and so kind of the way he gets it out is by tearing down other people, like, and
yeah.
that was kind of like The Wall was just like all these criticisms that would make you scratch your head. You're like, huh, what? What the hell are you talking about? What do you think? And it is, I think it is, people struggle with investing themselves in someone else's emotional earnesty, and that's what The Wall is it is so earnest. It's so hard on the table, It's kind of painful. It's almost painful to listen to,
Yeah, of course.
but it's
I
great.
was just mainly just saying that when it comes to nostalgia, it's just obviously, stuff that happened when you're younger that you feel a fondness for. Because I really do think that nostalgia is, a longing for the past,
Yeah.
like that green light at the end of the pier, Gatsby. That
Yeah.
was such a
Yeah. Do you
old
have that one? Do you have that written down? That was really good.
literally just thought of it just
That's
now.
really good.
I actually liked that book a lot, but then I found out how much of a, you know, an incel simp. He wasn't an incel, I don't
What?
think.
Who?
The
Wait, what?
writer,
Which?
Scott Fitzgerald.
Oh,
It was just
I mean, yeah, people wanted like trigger warnings in that book. It's like it's literature. It's
yeah.
supposed to push you. Supposed to. Well, hold on. Do you know what Fitzgerald did? What
No,
did he do?
he was just kind of like not as he was just not as cool as his friend, Ernest Hemingway. Let's just
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, if you make it all a competition, it's
okay.
true.
Yeah,
It's like
now
is
thinking
Ernest
about it.
Hemingway as cool as as well? I mean, Ernest Hemingway, he fought in World War One. He was a
Yeah.
real he was a man's man. That was. Have you ever seen Midnight in Paris? There's a guy that plays young Ernest
Wow.
Hemingway. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And oh my God, young Ernest Hemingway is like, I'm straight, but young Ernest Hemingway. Now
Yeah, I know what you mean.
he's a handsome fella. That's all.
Bro,
I'll leave it at
Jensen
that.
Ackles from The Boys, like
Yeah.
AO. Oh
Exactly.
my.
Exactly. So
Um,
Fitzgerald, yeah, no competition, unfortunately, with Hemingway, at least in the awesomeness department.
yeah, exactly. I was just mainly saying that it's a good that part is a good analogy from that book because he he's longing for the past where he felt rich or whatever, and Daisy's like the last piece that he couldn't get, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's actually, that's actually really taught. That's actually pretty interesting. It's like nostalgia is like loving somebody that doesn't love you back.
yeah,
It's like that's
nostalgia, yeah, like BoJack Horseman. That's literally what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, he's always, he wants to be back in the glory days, and there's definitely a vanity to nostalgia. It's almost like,
Yeah.
I guess you could almost categorize nostalgia and vanity as two separate things, but you could also group them together. That's really good, actually. That's like, because yeah, it's nostalgia is something that doesn't it isn't really real, but you're kind of convincing yourself that it is. And it's the same thing with like, oh, I'm really interested in this person, but they could care less about me. Like there's no, there's no uh, mutual gain from the relationship. But I think nostalgia does build class. All right. Anyway, sorry, I was taking away from you.
We'll talk about the next topic if you're ready for that one, because
Yeah.
I think we already covered nostalgia like overall. The next topic is your nostalgia. So Sam,
Mm.
talk about your nostalgia. Your main.
My nostalgia.
Yeah.
Well, where to begin? I, that's a good question. I think there's definitely things that like immediately stand out in my head, and I think a lot of stuff is just like I've talked about this with my brother Nathan, and for him a lot of it's sensory detail, which I definitely think that's like a fourth of it for me is like just like, oh, the smell of like our old kitchen, or the feeling of sitting on our red couch, or when I was in elementary school. But I definitely think for me it's like media is a way I engage through nostalgia. Like I don't know if you ever played Halo Reach.
No.
um, man. Well, I'll tell you something. Booting that up on the 360, in 2010 when I was 6 years old was like Christmas morning every morning. I'd play with my brother, play with my dad. We do split screen, and it's like it's my whole being. And I really, every time I replay that game, I'm transported back. And it's like it's not just that I'm invested in whatever's happening in the game or the mechanics, but it's also like who I shared it with is a huge part of that for me. Like, let me ask you that. Like, are you still in the same house that you grew up in?
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, okay, me neither. I've moved a lot. I mean, moved like 3 or 4 times. I mean, how many houses have you gone through?
Uh, yeah. So this is the third for me.
When did you move in?
We moved in around 2021.
Oh wow, that's really new. That's really new. That's what were you living in Santa Clarita before then?
Yeah, I always lived in Santa Clarita, but when
Okay,
I
yeah.
I lived in like in the beginning, I lived in the Valencia that was closer to the CPK and
Oh yeah.
the real life church, that
Oh
area.
yeah,
And
way up north, kind of near Canyon Country.
yeah,
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 that
yeah.
part of
That's a nice part of town.
Valencia. It is
Yeah.
very nice. And
I mean, hey,
then
at least now you're near the hospital.
oh yeah,
If anything goes wrong, it's right there.
I know, like bruh, no X's for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then what was it? Oh yeah, then I moved to Saugus around 2017 because
Hmm.
I needed to, because just the other house needed us out, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah. No, I know that. I
we
know how that goes.
moved to this one because we didn't like that one that much, and I was getting out of high school, so we thought it would be nice to go out here, and
Yeah.
it was.
It's
It's
a,
very
it's a nice
nice.
area. It's a very nice area. I mean,
Exactly.
that's the cool thing about these neighborhoods for people that aren't Santa Clarita locals is we've got these things called paseos, which are these little alcoves. They're kind of like sidewalks, but they're between
No.
houses and in between. Yeah, it's an understatement. It's like got a lot of nature, a lot of trees, a lot of depending on the neighborhood, it was more grown. Anyway, yeah, I think that's like yeah, definitely video games. That was a big part of my childhood growing up. I mean, towns. I was born in a place called South Pasadena, which is like maybe 30 minutes south of here. And every time I go through there, I instantly feel like I'm 10 years old again. Um, I
I
mean,
mean, who doesn't want to feel like they're 10 years old again?
exactly. It's
Yeah.
it's pre-puberty, pre-acne, but you're old enough to comprehend the world and think you're an adult.
Yeah, I
when
mean,
you're
a lot of
10.
cartoons, if you think about it, they have a lot of people that are like 10, like Bart Simpson, Timmy Turner.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you think
yeah.
about it,
I
like
wonder how old the
Ben 10.
Gravity Falls kids are.
Oh,
How old?
12. Yeah, 12.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
That's pre yeah,
prepubescent, you
puberty
know.
age.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is such a weird, such a gross way to talk about it. Yeah,
Eh,
they haven't developed yet. Yeah, no, I think, I definitely think that's a big thing for me. I also think like, and the whole reason I brought up the macro stuff, is because I weirdly, I have a lot of investment in like the past really just grips me super
mhm.
intensely. Like, I love the 1800s. Really interesting time to me. You've got the Industrial Revolution. You've got the Wild West. You've got there's times where
Oh my gosh,
it's
born
like
in the wrong generation.
exactly no, no yeah. It's like I'm like I wonder what it would be like to just be there for a day. I'm sure it'd be awful. I'm sure it would probably be awful to my sheltered self.
No
But
medicine.
yeah, exactly. No medicine, no painkillers, no antiseptic, no hand sanitizer.
No
Um,
Xbox 360s.
no Halo Reach. That's yeah, you're right. I would probably just off myself. I mean, what are you
Yeah,
supposed to
yo,
do?
pause.
Yeah, yeah. What else are you supposed to do?
In Halo game.
Yeah, in Halo. Yeah, yeah, my bad. But and like even I'll make it quick, but like Halloween, I'm gonna be a Napoleonic soldier that stood in line battles, and it's like it's stupid, but it's also like there's something about like, man, the values were so different then, you know, um, and it really makes you. I think it is. That's the nostalgia for me. That's what I loved about you saying like it's kind of like this the person that doesn't love you back. Is it's like I would literally never. It's not something that came by, passed, and went. It's something I've never known or experienced. That's probably why I'm so interested in it. I mean, I'm sure people in the 1800s probably hated their lives. They're probably like, I wonder what it was like in the 1700s. Somebody else was like, I wonder what it was like in the 1200s. And it's really just an
I wonder
endless.
what it was like when the Big Bang happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what about when this was all just a big black nothing? There was nothing going on. Yeah, there's people like that too. We call them nihilists. But yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't know. It's a very romanticized, very unrealistic version of nostalgia. Where you kind of you definitely propagate and believe that something was better than it was, which is nostalgia, and definitely with history, it's a far more extreme example of that because you have no idea, right? I mean, I have no idea what it was like to live in the 1800s. We can read about it, we can see photos, but
Not
it's
the
not
same.
exactly. It's not the same. Not the same. Had to be there. Hashtag had to be
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
Ayo, pause.
What about
Yeah.
you? How would you define nostalgia? Or like what are nostalgic things for you?
Oh, you done with your
I mean,
nostalgia?
you know, like how specific do you want to get? You
I,
like
I
like
just you just go over anything you really want to talk about for nostalgia, then I'll go to mine. Cause
okay.
I just have time codes, so then people can go from mine to yours.
I see. I see. I'm just trying to think. I mean, I definitely think music taps into that. Um,
Oh yes, I agree.
yeah, exactly. Like there's this song, oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. It's like On My Way to You by Finger 11, and it's music I don't even listen to anymore. Like it's like hard rock, or it's like metal almost, and like I thought it was the coolest thing when I was 8, and
You,
you
I
know,
mean, you think everything is cool at 8. It's just like
it's true.
that kind of
You've
thing.
never when you're 8, you've never seen a bad movie, you've never heard a bad song, you've never, it's everything's amazing, and you have no idea that your parents are dealing with the housing market crash, and it's amazing. It's perfect, and it is true. There's really no more there's no more time of ignorance is bliss than when you're a little kid. But yeah, I definitely say music. I'm sure movies too. There's some movies that I watch, and
Come on, there must be some movies that you remember a lot when you were younger that you
oh
liked,
yeah.
and you were like, That I wish movies were like that," or "Oh, I wish you know, I could
Uh,
go back to that because that was
That's true. I
interesting."
mean, I don't even. I'm trying to think of like, I rewatch stuff a lot, so like, I think it's definitely. it's the memory of that watching that movie and the circumstance that I watched that movie. Like me and my dad, when we watch movies, we take it very seriously, and it's like a ritual. You know, it's like how some people watch football. My dad watched football too, but that was our version of that. As we watched we watched The Wrestler with oh my god, I can't remember his name. But yeah, we'd watch movies and we'd get really intense and passionate about it and argue about it for hours and what the story was trying to tell and or whether something was a good choice or not and like Rocky. Like I've never seen the first Rocky outside of the first time that I saw it, but I have a really strong memory of my dad trying to show it to me and I didn't want to watch it, and so he just told me to close my eyes and he started playing it, so I had to watch it. And that's
Rocky.
yeah, Rocky.
Why'd you have to close your eyes for Rocky?
No, I didn't have to close, but he had to close my eye. He made me close my eyes to coerce me into
Oh.
watching it because I was like, I don't know if this ever happened. Does this ever happen to you where something's like more than 10 years old? Is mostly when I was a little kid, but when
Hmm.
something's older than 10 years from like whenever you're watching it, uh, for some reason I just didn't want to watch it. I just wouldn't. I was like, oh, it's old. Like I don't want to. It's a waste of my time. It doesn't have new observations. What's the point?
I
Um,
never thought things were like old back then. I kind
yeah,
of liked that idea of like things being old.
it was just
I
yeah,
did
it was just,
notice. I will have to agree with you. I did notice that when things were older, um, I was like, "Ah, I can't even imagine that being like, just the same kind of people that we have nowadays.
yeah,
But at
yeah,
the same time, I still thought like, it was cool. I guess you're all right though. Like anything past like, yeah, probably. I think probably I thought the Star Wars was just too old and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, that's true. Actually, it's probably like I don't know if you're a prequel, if you consider yourself a prequel kid,
Oh
but
no. Um.
ah, man, missing out. I mean, we're a bunch of delusional morons, but it's like I think that's probably why people got attached to those movies was because it was fresh and exciting, and even though they weren't good, and I love those movies. I mean, I'm looking at a giant shelf of Clone Troopers right now, but you know, it was like it was kind of hot and cool and sexy and like oh look at all the CGI, it's so high tech, even though none of it looked good. Um, yeah, I think it was weird. It was like I had a phobia, not a phobia, but I was like allergic to the look of film. Like for some reason, I thought it looked really grungy and cheap, even though it's ironically it's the opposite. And I don't feel that way anymore. And now I watch it, I'm like, oh, this looks incredible, and this digital stuff looks so cheap or so whatever. Um, but there's a great quote I think by like Steven Spielberg where he's like trying to show his kids black and white movies and they just don't want to do it. They don't want to bother, And then they're 10 minutes into the movie and they just forget about it, because it's like just a good movie and they just get absorbed into the story and the filmmaking. And it's like the same thing for me, where I was like, at least as a kid, I was like, oh, I don't want to watch Rocky. It looks old. It looks gross. And then we'd be the 3 minutes in and I'd be like, oh, never mind. This is like the best thing ever made. I didn't even think about it. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, I mean, this nostalgic things. It's definitely goofy stuff. I mean, I've got two older siblings, and I don't. They're a lot older. My brother's 6 years older, and my sister's 8, and they, I just don't see them very often because they left the house, after high school when I was in middle school, so I didn't see them very often after that, and we were very close up to that point because I went to college and stuff. But I've just found like an old home movie of it, and of us hanging out when I was like maybe 4 or 5, and they were 11 and 13, and it was like it was just crazy. It was like I was just back, I was like I wasn't even I was just in that room almost, and I think nostalgia, like I've had a lot of healthy nostalgia trips where like sometimes I forget about how good something was, and then yeah, last year, like a year ago. But so my parents are living on the East Coast because my mom has a job out there. My dad wanted to be with her, but there was a year where it was just me and my dad. Um, and if my mom ever ends up listening to this, mom, it's not that because you weren't there, I appreciated it more. If it's just there's different set of circumstances. But in that year, me and my dad watched probably like 100, 200, 300 movies we'd watch a movie every night, and I just sometimes I'd forget that it happened, and like that all the conversations that we'd have, and all the really, uh, some people might say really violent arguments about about movies. But that was kind of the experience, was the intense passion, and I think the nostalgia is remembering that it happened,
Yeah.
because it's just easy to forget. It's just easy to forget the really how lucky you are sometimes, and things are hard, and I think it's good to not be nostalgic about everything, because then you get into bias and you get into all this other stuff. Even politically, you can have nostalgia for, like, I remember back when this country was, or I remember back when this country was, any
Yeah.
political spectrum, any political side is based in nostalgia, and but I think there is a nostalgia also lends itself to appreciation, and I had it pretty good, or if you didn't have it pretty good, there were some bright spots, or there's some. I'm one of those people. I'm lucky enough to say that I had it pretty good, and I gotta appreciate that, uh, and not let it slip by, and self victimize myself or whatever, and be like, actually, it's really I'm a tortured artist. It's really hard for me to do anything. It's really I was like, no, no. And the nostalgia, I think, is a part of that. Is understanding your reality, even if it's a little rose tinty. But that being said, I think I've talked enough.
Yeah.
What about your nostalgia, John?
Yes, I want to talk about mine. So
Yeah.
my nostalgia.
Yes.
So okay, I should probably just start. Okay. So I saw darkness, then I saw bright
Uh huh.
lights,
Uh huh.
and then I felt wet. I started feeling. Then I saw the outside. It was the hospital room.
Ah, yes. Yes. Your green
He cut
light
off the
at the end of the
umbilical
pier.
cord. I'm kidding.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No,
No,
that's
I
true.
don't
I,
even
you know, I
remember
didn't
that
even
far.
consider my birth. I should have added that to the list. I'm a bad son. What can I say?
No, I don't think I can remember my birth, bro.
Some
I don't
people say
think
they can
most.
remember being inside the womb, which
It's sus, dude.
I think
It's
they're lying.
true. Um,
Like, no, that didn't happen.
there's some things I'm uh nostalgic for, I'd say. Um, I mean, this one sounds really dark. I mean, not dark, but like, I remember my sister being nice to me when I was younger.
Yeah, that counts.
So
That counts. That does count. Yeah.
yeah, she was. I don't know. She was just nicer to me when I was younger, and now she's not as nice, I'd say.
Yeah.
And that was very Oh, I think we were a lot closer when we were younger, but when we got
Yeah.
older, not as much. So
Yeah.
yeah, I that one was I would say is something that I was nostalgic for.
When does that
There's
come up for you? I mean, like, when do you remember that? Or do
usually just when my sister's just like not the nicest to me. I have like a bunch of sisters,
Yeah.
so it's just the one that's the youngest, but she's older than me because I'm the youngest. So
Yeah.
you know how it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
what
interesting, because
other?
sometimes
Yeah,
it's the opposite with people. Sometimes you have people that they really, or they have honeymoon phases or whatever, where they really get along with their sibling when they're young, and then like they kind of get into arguments, or they get into conflict, and then you have people where they hated each other as siblings and they fought all the time, and now they've totally mellowed out. It's funny how that kind of kind of shifts. Do you feel like
yeah.
there's a yeah, yeah,
A shift. I feel like a little bit. I mean, obviously, I think she matured a lot, and she's definitely. But I mean, I think I matured a lot as well. I mean, of course we did. It's just the fact that she does seem more, I guess, less like trying to get at me, right, and more or less just being maybe annoyed by me or something like that.
yeah,
Um, which my family is just like, that's just siblings, and also the fact that she used to not be into family as much, but now she seems like she is. So
hmm.
that's another thing.
Hmm. Does your
Uh,
sister listen to this podcast?
hopefully not, but it's
Well,
much
if you're
better.
listening, hi, I haven't met you. I hope you're having a good day. Treat John well. And everyone else who's listening, spread the word.
Spread the word.
Yeah,
Treat John well.
yeah. I mean, your viewership, your listeners, really, if you do it right, they could be like your carrier pigeons. They just spread the news.
Yeah, I'd hope so. Um, I don't know. She helped me get a job, so that's cool. Like I wouldn't be working at the Regal without her. So
Oh,
you know
did
how it
she
is.
did she work there or?
I mean, she knew I mean, she worked at the Valencia one, but then she, mentioned me to the people that used to work there that now works at the one I work at, which is
Yeah.
Canyon Country, and then they were like, "Yep, we'll have him in," and I was like, "I ain't." So that's
Nice.
awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Um, but yeah, I mean, she's awesome, but at the same time, I do wish, it was like how it was when you were younger.
Yeah.
And then with my other siblings, I don't really have too much nostalgia for them. Maybe just like past memories, but to be honest, they're still, in my opinion, pretty similar to how they were when I was younger. I just didn't know as much about some of my sisters that I do now, so it's
Right.
like not as rose tinted, but at the same time, they're chilling now.
Yeah.
They're growing up. They have kids, so it's all good.
That's crazy. How old's your
Um,
oldest sister?
I think like in their 30s.
Dang, I thought
So
my siblings were older than me.
yeah,
That's
I shouldn't
crazy.
say I think. I know they're in their 30s. I just don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Wow.
no one
Wow. So you
gets
have
mad
you have nieces and nephews.
Yep. One niece, one nephew.
Oh my God, you're an
So
uncle. That's insane.
yeah,
I
I
can't even
met
imagine that.
one recently when I went to Arkansas. I met my niece. Her name is Ellie.
How
She's
old is
very
she?
nice. She is now 3 months old.
Wow,
So that's
that's
cool.
crazy.
The other one is 3 years old. His name is Jimmy.
Oh,
He's very
wow.
nice.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
look nothing like me. They're both like blue
Thank
eyed
God. No.
and blonde hair.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, not maybe not
Aryan.
blonde hair, but like I mean, one I think they might have brown hair later on, but they both have like blue eyes, and it's like
Yeah. It's
they
interesting. Yeah,
all look
sometimes that
like
happens with kids. I mean, sometimes they'll have like super extreme features and then they'll mellow out, as time goes on.
exactly. Yeah,
I don't
that
know what
does
that
happen
is.
a lot with
Yeah,
my family.
yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying that I definitely have nostalgia for those memories, but not too much because I have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, of course, of course. Oh,
um,
I did want to say
yeah.
I'm very jealous of you because I've always wanted to be an uncle because I would be called Uncle Sam, and I think that's kind of badass. I mean, right? I
You'll
mean, come
become an
on.
uncle, right?
One of these days,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully, I'll bully my brother into marrying somebody or something. We'll see. But
Just
yeah.
force it.
Exactly. Whoa, jeez. I'm in the room. I'm in the room. Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
But anyway, next thing.
Yeah,
Other
okay.
than siblings.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, weirdly enough, I don't know why this is nostalgic for me. I'm just gonna bring it up.
Mhm.
Some foods,
Oh
I
yeah, big
remember
time.
there was like, I mean, I can eat this nowadays, like oatmeal, but like there used to be like these uh like cups you can just get at the store, and it was like cinnamon, and it was
Yeah.
just cinnamon. That was really good. I don't know
Hmm.
why that was such a big deal, but
You just
it
eat
was
that
good.
raw?
It hit. No, I
Wow.
mean I put milk in it and then I nuked it,
Oh,
or
of
I guess
course,
my
of course.
parents did. It was pretty good. I like oatmeal. It's pretty good. I don't
Oh, you
it
put in oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
Okay.
oatmeal.
Yeah,
This
yeah. I
entire
bet you did. Oh, I didn't even hear that part. I just heard. Oh yeah, there was this big cup of cinnamon. I was like,
Oh
it's like, oh, wow,
no.
that's bold. That's very bold.
No, I meant like oatmeal. Just
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, cinnamon oatmeal is pretty good. I sound like an old man, but
Now,
that
man,
was
I
a
love
banger. I gotta
oatmeal.
say.
Oatmeal is the best thing on the planet. It's just
It,
the
it was
best.
really good, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like Quakers just they know how to get it done.
They know how to get it done. Those
Like
damn
just back
religious
and just
folk.
like back then.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what's crazy. I was watching this thing on like early talking about 1800s. We're on like 1800s meals, and everybody for like 400 years just ate oatmeal. Like it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing that you put in your microwave. It's crazy. It's like you're really walking the footsteps of your ancestors there
Of
in the most
course.
in the most
But
boring
I'm
way
also
possible, but you're doing it.
Asian, so I don't know. Like, I mean,
Oh,
I feel like eating
wow, yeah.
rice
Are
is
you
gonna.
really appropriating my culture here? Come on. Come on, dude. Get a
I'm
rice
also
cooker.
half. I'm also half white, so
Okay, well then I give you the pass. It's okay.
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, that and also these that came back actually. Fruit Loop cereal straws, really good. They came back. I think they're still out. If they're not, I'm gonna
I've never
I
even
don't
heard of
even know what
those.
I'm gonna
Did it
do.
just come with the the box?
Yeah, let me explain. It's
Okay.
so you know Fruit Loops, right?
Yeah.
It's basically just that, but a straw that's made out of a long Fruit Loop that
Whoa.
you're able to dip, sip, and or munch. It's
Wow.
like
Are
delicious.
you reading off the product right now?
No, literally,
That's
that's just
crazy.
what I remember commercial. It was so
Dang.
good. I mean, I can't believe. I mean, you're probably like a year younger. I mean, you're a year younger than me from my knowledge.
Yeah, it's just about.
And that was just like one of my earliest memories, getting those straws and drinking milk out of
Wow,
them.
earliest memory, huh? That's
They're so
crazy.
delicious
You didn't
because they're
remember your
just
mother, you
Fruit
didn't remember
Loops.
your dad, but you remember those Fruit Loop straws, huh?
Okay, you know what? Those Fruit Loop straws,
Hey,
they
if
got me
they're
through.
good, they're good.
They're delicious, dude.
Yeah, I got no qualm with that. I mean, I used to the closest thing I had to that was I think we were a Fruity Pebbles family and a Raisin Bran family, but Fruity Pebbles had like a bar that you could take to school with you, which was literally just Fruity Pebbles as a giant bar, but it would fall out of
Ooh.
you'd be pouring it into your cereal bowl and it would crash in a
Oh,
little
you're gonna
plastic
hate
wrapper.
me, but I don't really like Fruity Pebbles
Oh
that
no
much.
no no! I hate Fruity Pebbles too. Where it's at, it's chocolate Choco Pebbles. That's
Oh,
now
I just
that
don't like Pebble.
go to hell, John. No, no, no. No, dude, that's actually a great point. I'm nostalgic for when I would eat anything and feel no guilt. I used to eat cereal all the time, and now every time I do, I'm like, I could be eating oatmeal and
I
not
know,
have
but
another
you
trigger.
have that body where it's like ayo, but
Whoa, I
where
know.
you're tall enough
I've got the
that it
ideal
doesn't
body.
matter.
What can I say? That's true. It's true.
Like me
Metabolism
too,
is a
It's
hell of a
like
thing. Yeah, I'm sure you got a pretty fast
though
metabolism.
though I feel like I am gaining weight, but that's what I want. It's just at
Yeah.
the same time I used to be like I think a lot more skinnier, but now I'm like less, which I like because I
Yeah.
don't want to
Well,
be like really
there's
skinny.
good weight gain and there's bad weight gain,
Yeah, I mainly
But
just want to be muscle and then like
yeah.
just a little bit of fat.
Are you hitting the gym?
Yeah, but I gym at home, which is not
Oh,
really the
no.
best, but you know
Hey,
what?
no, but
Health
that's financially you're killing everybody else. It's genius. That's way better.
Oh,
That's
thank you
way
so
better.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just think of the other ones. Yeah, so it's mainly just those two things. This is a really good topic that you picked because there's just a lot we could talk about this.
Oh yeah, it's
Because
endless.
I have those Fruit Loop cereal straws like a banger, but I mean obviously I remember some movie experiences, like I remember I don't think I would ever remember going to Finding Nemo, even though that came out the year that I was born. That would be
Yeah, no
funny if
way.
I did though.
If you
I
said
don't
you
think
did, I would call
there's
you a
no way.
liar.
I would be capping.
Yeah.
Um, there's some like I remember there was this one movie. I can't think of the title right now, or I do not want to find out. It was just some movie about like this princess and this whatever, and there were rats. It wasn't
Yeah.
Cinderella. It was just some like off-brand, really dumb movie.
There's a
I
princess and there was rats. Was
and
it
it was
2D or
just
was it
about the
3D?
rats. It was
Hmm.
just about the rats. But the princess was there, and that was one of the earliest memories because I remember crying during that movie. It's like, oh my god, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Um, but
That's true. Oh man, the things that would get you
it
emotional
wasn't
for no
even
reason.
sad. I don't even think it was that sad. It was just I think there was kind of a dark scene, and I thought it was kind of scary, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Dad, let's go."
Yeah.
um, that was one thing that my parents said I did all the time, and I kind of remember. Um, I used to go. I used to get Skittles, and I only liked the red ones, and then I used the lights in the theater. I should remember
Ah,
what they're called, but yeah, the
yeah.
lights on the by the stairs and everything,
Yeah.
so then you don't trip. I use those to pick them out on the ground. I
Yeah.
just poured them
Yeah.
all out and just grabbed the red
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
and I was so
Wow. That's also great being really picky as a kid. That's a huge nostalgia thing. That's like,
yeah. I don't like thinking about it too much, but sometimes I do. I don't know, because I used to not even like peanut butter and jelly.
oh my
Like it took
God.
me so long to start eating a
No,
lot
I hated the
of
peanut
food.
butter. I used to make just jelly sandwiches and they would taste awful, but I made them
I
and I
actually liked peanut butter
that's
before
better
jelly.
taste. You've got better taste than I did when I
Yeah,
was like 4 years old.
it was just the fact that I thought jelly was just weird, and then I thought peanut butter just it was like sweet, and I've had like the peanut butter cups and I was like delicious.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
but peanut butter is a much better self-sustaining flavor. Like
exactly.
I would eat peanut butter out of the jar. I would have to pair jelly or jam with something. You couldn't just eat that. You'd get sick. You'd
Oh,
feel
definitely.
nauseous.
Yeah,
Mm.
because it's just carbs. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
guess
is.
peanut butter is also carbs.
Empty
But
calories. Yeah, you got to be thinking like a gym bro if you're going to home gym.
I mean, they're fine with just eating a jar of peanut butter, but
Exactly, exactly. But they would never eat a jar of
jar of
jelly.
jelly
Yeah,
because it's
exactly. No.
literally. I mean, maybe a scoop or something before a workout, but usually when they do like a pre-workout, it's usually like caffeine and like a different kind of like maybe juice. I
Yeah.
mean, some people would probably do jelly. It's just I don't know of too many people that would, but
No, no, no.
it could work.
Definitely. Well, are you a jam?
Different
Do you
strokes for
do you
different folks.
exactly, exactly. Are you a jelly guy or a jam guy? Because there's pros and cons to each one.
Exactly. I was gonna just say that. Yeah, I mean, I remember doing the Skittles, and then there was people behind us, and I was like, "Hello," or maybe I was talking to my dad about something, and my dad was like, Gotta bring you outside because I gotta
Yeah,
like hear what you're talking about."
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I would just talk during a movie, and he was like, I need to know what's up."
yeah, yeah.
So
Oh God, do
yeah,
you still do that?
no, no, of course,
You've
I'm
learned.
probably more chill in a movie now. I'm getting more mad at other people talking, but
Oh, I know, dude. I tried to see the latest Martin Scorsese movie. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Could barely pay attention. Everybody was talking. I just couldn't. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's like
okay,
I
well,
feel
you
like
can't blame him too much at a certain point because like after the second hour, people are gonna
no,
just want
no, dog, dog, dog. Let me tell you this. Everybody paid $25 to be there per person in the IMAX theater at 6 o'clock. Like
Okay,
everybody
never
saw the
mind,
run
never
team.
mind.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like if you I don't know. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It was nuts. It was nuts. But anyway.
You know how people are.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Awful.
yeah. I just remember some movies like I think I remember watching Tangled in theaters and Diary
Hmm.
of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
Like that was like, oh my gosh, that was my thing.
Yeah. Didn't see
I
that.
mean,
Didn't see Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I've read all the
yeah,
books. I'm a bad fan though. I haven't seen the movie.
I thought Captain Underpants was better. But
Oh, shade.
and then oh there was Madagascar 2,
Oh yeah.
like the Africa one. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I think it's Escape. I think it's Madagascar Escape to Africa. I
Yes.
think that's how it's
Yeah, it
snuck
is.
in the two. And that was one thing I wanted to say. That song, and not I like to move it. That one's a good one. But the
Moto
traveling
Moto.
song,
Oh,
that literally is my nostalgia. Like literally one of my defined nostalgic moments of all time. That one song. It is literally so nostalgic for me. I
yeah.
remember
I don't
listening
think
to
I
it all
even.
the
I don't.
time.
I don't even remember that one. The only thing I remember from that movie is the Moto Moto song.
I'll play it for you later. It's
Okay.
it's it's not that good, but I thought it was just a banger.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was probably one of the main like ones. I'm trying to think because right now I'm like 6 years old in this sense, so I'm trying to figure out like what was the main things after that. I'd say, dude, I'm not really nostalgic too much after that too much, but I would say when I was like in, I guess, elementary school, I used to. Oh, there's like this show. I think you know of it, like Clarence.
Oh
And
yeah.
I used to make John Bucks because he used to do this thing called like Clarence dollars or
Yeah.
something, and I
Yeah.
used to give that around. And I used to like draw comics. I used to, I think, give those as like, oh, if you give me a John Buck, I'll give you like a
Comic
one
book.
of these. Yeah, even though
That's
it's so
great.
dumb because I made the currency and I made the product.
You
I don't
cornered the
even know what
market. You cornered the
I
market. Yeah.
did. No
Yeah.
one can find.
Baby's first economics, dog. You're winning. You're winning.
Exactly, bro. That was funny. And
Invest. Yeah.
um yeah, I remember just mainly, dealing with that, and there was what other stuff in elementary school. I remember there was just I just keep saying that just because I want to remember. Oh, I used to do like Lego stop motions when I was younger, so
Oh yeah,
one
me
thing I was.
too. Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I need to see those because yours is probably a lot better than mine. I just did them on like an
You
iPad or
know,
something.
don't quote me on that. I mean, they were like They were never finished. I don't think I ever finished a single one, but I was always very proud of them, but they never turned out quite how you might want them to, you know.
Oh,
But
that's good. I need to check them out later, and you'll check out mine. You'll
yeah,
be
what
like,
are
"Oh
yours
my
on YouTube
gosh,
or
this
something?
is." Yeah, it's
Shameless plug,
yeah. I mean, it's just John MegoxMan. It's just an
of
old
course.
channel of mine.
Yeah,
That's actually the title of the. That I mean that's actually something I'm nostalgic about. So there's MegoxCast, and a lot of people are like, "What's MegoxCast?" And the reason of that title is that when I was like younger, I used to, like I was talking about, make comic books or draw them. I'm not the best artist, but I dabble,
yeah.
and
Gotta start somewhere.
I was drawing some. I mean, I drew like a bunch. Like I drew, superhero ones, but I also drew like this one called just Comics of Dreams.
Yeah,
Comics spelled with an X, and it was just kind of like Mad style comic book,
yeah,
where it's like different skits, and it
yeah.
was just like a. And
Oh, that's
I
great.
liked that. That was fun.
I
And
love Mad.
then there was what? Oh yeah, the superhero. So I was trying to make a superhero name because obviously I can't just call him like Mega Man or something like that. I
Yeah,
think that was actually one of my working titles, and then I was like, oh wait, Nintendo.
yeah, yeah,
So I was just looking at brands of like technology and just other stuff like that. Like for example, there's I think I named one after the name of a like a pencil sharpener. I don't remember what the brand of the pencil sharpener was, but I think I named it after that. And then there was one TV I saw that in my house that was called Magnavox,
Mm.
and
Oh, that's a good name.
I just thought, hey, why don't I just change some letters around? I just call it Megox, Mega
Yeah,
Man, and I
yeah.
thought that was a cool you know, superhero name. Everyone calls it Mego X Man. That's something I'm nostalgic about because it's literally Meg and then Ox and then Man.
Yeah,
No one can
okay.
figure it out for some
I don't
reason.
blame them. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just like I, the X is in such a way where I feel like it's, because I feel like if you were gonna say Mego X, it would have to be where Mego is its own thing and there's like a dash and then it's X. I get that, but when I see the whole thing, I'm like Megox. But
Yeah.
thankfully, a good amount of people say Megox when they first see it, but I just have to let them know.
Tell them off, John.
Because
Tell
I
them
don't.
off.
Oh yeah, of course. You guys don't know how to say it. But yeah, I mean, that's one I'm nostalgic about with it, the title of this podcast and just that
Yeah.
superhero name. I was gonna say that I just like that title, so I was just using that as usernames and everything, and I'm nostalgic for making those stop motions because I made like 9 of them,
Yeah.
and they were really not the best, but I liked them and liked doing them a lot.
Yeah.
And getting my friends to do it. I'm nostalgic for getting my friends over because, to be honest, I didn't really have a lot of friends when I was younger. So when I started doing that, I made some in like jujitsu. That was one thing I'm kind of nostalgic about, like kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. When I was younger, I did wide guides. That was really nostalgic because I was able to go out and meet some people, even though I didn't make too
Wine
many friends.
guides?
Y guides, so it's
What
why
what is that?
I gotta figure out how you would say it. It's just basically like Boy Scouts, but it's with your dad.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
it's
No, that's cute.
kind of
That's cool.
it's fun, and you go to Big Bear. It's all fun to
I
hang out
think
out
I've
there.
heard about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I like wide guides because I don't. Why do I say it wide? It's Y guides, but it you'd have to see how it's spelled, but that's just how you say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm nostalgic for that because it was just something fun for me to go and do.
Yeah, that dude,
Uh,
that's actually a great point. Boy Scouts. I did Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. I quit Boy Scouts.
nice.
Cub Scouts. That was amazing. That was like
I would
some good
assume so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and when it comes to uh the other stuff, oh, another thing, childcare. both in elementary and when I was even before that,
Oh
when I was in
yeah,
elementary
like
school.
daycare and stuff.
I
Yeah.
loved that because I used to make a lot of, maybe not make a lot of. I always keep saying that. It sounds so depressing, but I don't think so. I just
You
think
met
I
many
didn't have.
acquaintances while you were there.
Yeah, I don't think I really had a lot of friends until like I was older because I wouldn't count the friends I had like friends because I wouldn't hang out with them all the time. I would just hang out with them sometimes.
Yeah, they were
But
elementary school friends. They were just people you would
yeah,
kind of dip your toe in and run
and
around and
I
stuff. Yeah.
liked doing that because I was able to just do whatever I wanted, and play in the
Yeah.
sand. There was one time I wanted to make like a, actually no, all the time basically. I wanted to make a paper airplane, and I
Yeah.
just made bunch. I made gliders, which were better than just the dart ones that
Yeah.
everyone makes. And then it just flew everywhere. A bunch of them just flew on the roof, but it was just nice because I love how far they went. That was
Yeah.
just, I just liked that a lot because that was
Yeah.
just really fun
It is. It's
to
those
do.
simple things, man. That's what adds up, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I remember wanting it to just go as far as it can. And now, yeah, it's like, yeah, I can see why people would want to look back in nostalgia because it's like so simple. And
Yeah.
yeah, I liked that was definitely very like nostalgic for me, especially when they had like the Kona ice trucks. Oh, I miss those.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
not
big
seen
time.
those in a hot minute. Like, bro, the tiger's blood, like no one can make it like Kona ice can.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, oh yeah, you know what? You were talking about Halloween stuff. I was gonna say, I'm nostalgic for some Halloween costumes. I was like
Yes. Yeah.
younger, and I dressed up just in different costumes, like Spider-Man multiple times, and
Yeah.
there was one where I was like a headless guy. That was really cool.
Nice. I remember those
I just
costumes. Those always blew me away as a kid. I was always like a clone trooper or Master Chief or something for Halloween, and that was it. You
yeah,
know, I just was like, and you'd see some kid walking around, and he's holding his own head in his hands, and like, it was great. Those
I
are
was
some
still
great costumes.
surprised I was able to do it. Yeah, and yeah, I remember those times fondly. I don't remember middle school that fondly though. I gotta admit, but
Yeah.
the elementary school definitely just very nice. I asked for a lot of weird stuff for Christmas. I remember asking for you know a lot of weird stuff. My dad has to do a lot of stuff for me when I was younger. Where it's like, why, John? Why do you want the rules book from the Fairly Odd Parents? Literally something I asked for. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, but instead of just 200 pages, I want a page for every single day of the year.
Yeah.
Um, do you want a motorized vehicle for yourself when you're like 8 years old, even though they're made for like 4-year olds? Sure, because they get like big ones,
Yeah.
but they're rare. Um, yeah, I just remember. I think when I think the most simple ones I asked for was like a Woody doll, and there was one where I wanted like hot chocolate, and
Yeah.
that was like those were the most simple. But like the other ones I feel nostalgic for because I actually got what I wanted. I didn't even know it was my parents. Oh, I shouldn't even told them. I shouldn't even told you guys. You guys might not know that he's not real. Remember believing that Santa Claus was real? That's a
Oh
secret
yeah,
right
that's a
there.
throwback. I think I was I think there were maybe three or okay, if there's any kids, hold on. Santa Claus is real, and if there's any kids
Yes.
listening to this,
My
we're gonna
my dad
talk.
and
We're
mom just work for him, kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly. And we've actually got to we've got a Santa Claus is gonna come on the call. You guys can't be listening because privacy, legal stuff. It's long. We just can't have you listening. So get off now. Are you off? Okay, good. Anyway, yeah, no, I know. I think I was told maybe 3 or 4 times that Santa Claus wasn't real, and I think I forgot every time when someone told me. Like not by my parents. Like my parents didn't sit me down and be like, "All right, guys, Santa's, he's not real." But like I think like I had a classmate tell me, and I literally just blocked it out like it didn't happen. And then I think a teacher in middle school told me, and I blocked it out. And then a movie told me, and I blocked it out. And like I
Movie
literally would just,
tells you. That's actually one of the rules I notice in most movies. They will never tell you that Santa Claus isn't real.
oh yeah, no, it's in
You
poor
notice that,
taste.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it's in poor taste. It's like, and that's the whole thing of the Christmas movie. When you're watching a Christmas movie, it's the night before, it's Christmas Eve. And it's right before you're gonna open the trees the next morning. Why would you ever do that? So it's all
It's actually
about.
weird because you can see the most disgusting, disturbing stuff. Like Schindler's List exists, and most movies will not even tell you like that Santa Claus isn't real. It's like
Yeah, poor
crazy.
taste. Poor taste. You gotta have that some of that magic. If the magic's not real, at least the media can kind of make you feel that magic. It's like watching Rudolph. It's like watching the stop motion Rudolph. It's not real, but it feels good. It puts you right in that zone. Or even like oh God, not Miracle on 34. It's a Wonderful Life. It's nothing to do with Santa Claus. There's no
Oh,
Santa
my dad
Claus.
hates that movie.
Oh, your dad's a Philistine. Come on. I mean, come on. That's a great movie. What's to hate about that movie? What does he hate
He
about that
just
movie?
thinks it's like okay, this is so mean, but he was like his life is literally so depressing. He should just and I was like, "Hey, yo, pause that."
Yeah, come on. No, man. Jimmy Stewart. I mean, how do you not love? He talks like this, and that's all he
I
does.
think he doesn't hate the character. I think he's just like his life does suck. It's like literally so depressing.
Yeah, that's brutal, heartbreaking. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's
I'm gonna
true. That's
watch
true.
that movie. I'm
That's
gonna
good.
do it this year because it seems like a good movie, and
Have you
I'm
seen it
trying to
before?
fill up my letterbox. Yeah.
Have,
Actually, I've never seen it before. No, I
oh,
haven't seen it,
you
but
so you're a liar. No, yeah,
oh,
no. It's a great movie. I didn't see it until last year, and it's one of my dad's favorite movies. And then I finally, it was that exact thing. It's a black and white movie. It was old. Didn't want to watch it.
it's not even that my dad doesn't find black and white movies bad. Like
Yeah.
he's just
No,
like
no. It was just
he
it was
likes
that's
Miracle
that's
on
just why I
34th
didn't.
Street
That's just
more.
why I didn't want to watch it. I
I
was like,
actually don't like the old version of Miracle on 34th Street as much as the newer one, and that's only because I don't feel like a climax should just be the letters. I mean, it's cool, but the fact that the climax is or not climax, but like the part where it's like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do it? Is just the fact that it said in God we trust on a dollar bill. Like I don't know. It feels more impactful to me than the uh letters. I don't know.
yeah. I gotta be honest. I've never seen it, but I believe you. I completely believe you. I would look. Yeah. Go into It's a Wonderful Life with an open mind.
And
Don't
then
have your
you
dad in
watch
the room.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah. And
you
then I'll
watch
watch
Miracle
Miracle on
on
40.
34th
I've
Street.
seen
You
the
watch both
original.
of them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't remember the original Miracle on 34th Street, but I've got to watch it.
Yeah, and then you
Uh,
gotta watch the one with Matilda in it. So
oh
that
yeah,
one's
yeah. Of course, of
like I
course.
said, I think that one's better, but I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me in the comments. And it's
Yeah.
just the fact
I
that
won't hate
I
you in the
feel
comments.
like
I'll hate you here. I hate you. I'll be open attack. No, yeah.
that's another thing. Nostalgia, Christmas. Like it's just like you just feel the same thing you feel, and
Oh
also
yeah.
Halloween. It's just some things you feel. I think you feel different about summer most of the time.
I've
Because
definitely
it's
I've
just
I've
different.
liked summer more as I've grown up. For some reason, I mean,
Yeah,
I liked it when I was a kid because it meant there was time off, but I didn't like how hot it was. And now I think I'm kind of
yeah. I liked
appreciating.
spring a lot more when I was
Oh
younger.
yeah, spring's great, and spring is still better, but like I just appreciate the weather more. I used to be very vindictive
I
and
actually really like it when it's hot, but that's just because I'm crazy.
yeah, you're wearing
Um,
basketball shorts under your clearly.
hey yo, no one needs to know
Oh,
that.
sorry. I thought we were already recording when you said that.
Dude, it's all
I
good.
didn't. I didn't say anything. And also, I hope the kids that were okay. You can come. Oh, okay, John, put this as the timestamp. Everyone, come back. We're done talking about Santa Claus left the call. So you're good to come back.
All right, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, good.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I feel like those are just like you have certain feelings and everything during those times. When I was, dude, what were we talking? We were just talking about like Christmas and Halloween. So I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that? The Christmas and Halloween stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's like that's what makes holidays persist. Is
Yeah, exactly.
it's the collective nostalgia and the collective beauty. I think I definitely like, especially this year. I kind of have like that's what also is scary about nostalgia is once I think you actually arrive at the thing that's coming, it's a little it can be hypothetically disappointing. And that it was like that for me that's scary. Like I remember in October I used to be jumping up and down the entire month for Halloween because I love dressing up. And this month, I mean this year, I'm excited for it, and I know that when the day comes and I'll be in costume and I'll be at a party, or usually what we do is we'll set up decorations and hand out candy and kind of not like jump out at people, but we'll like look scary in scary costumes and stuff, and have like this whole walkthrough thing built. And but it's like right now I'm not jumping up and down, and it's only a week away. And I know once I'm there and I'm in the chair and I'm handing out candy and the decorations are up, I'm gonna be in love and it's gonna be amazing. But right now I'm just not, I'm just not feeling it, and it's kind of like that fear of like, oh man, did I get old and did I get bored? That I don't feel the same way I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, about this thing.
Yeah,
Um,
probably not. I mean, and even if you did, like, I mean, that's just how you feel. You
yeah,
can't
no, it's true.
like be upset with how you feel. Just
Yeah,
go your own way by
yeah,
Fleetwood Mac.
exactly. Yeah.
That actually, I was gonna say that too. After Follow the Leader,
Uh,
that has become my favorite song for no
really?
reason. It is
Wow.
just, I just think, one thing I noticed, and this is just like any song when I was younger. Um, I don't know, just actually, it's more become a new thing. I just like a lot of songs where it sounds like people are crying out for freedom
Yeah.
or something like that, or
Yeah.
just like trying to like just what original rock was trying to go for, I
Yeah.
guess, because they're all going for like, yeah, f you parents. Like the Dog Days Are Over kind of gives
Yeah.
off a similar thing, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah, you
coming
should
in.
listen to. Have you ever listened to Jimi Hendrix's "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised"?
Oh, I'll check that one out.
That's an amazing song. It's different. It's different, slightly different vibe, but it's kind of like a protest song. It's
Yeah,
great. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, for the
Just
viewer, for the listeners out there, we're talking about John was on set for a music video that mutual COC student was making, and we the opening song is I love that you latched onto the intro song and not the actual song
I
that the
like
whole
the
music video is built
actual
around.
song because I've heard it multiple times, but the Go Your Own Way is just such a special song because like when I was listening to it a few times, the beginning part is just really good, and like how he's so emotional later on. Yeah, like that's a
Yeah,
good song.
Fleetwood Mac. I mean, it's
I
just a
think,
perfect
I
band.
mean,
It's
I'm
really
pretty
amazing.
sure Tate picked it, but I don't know if you did.
Oh no! I think that I'm pretty sure that was tape.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna
was
say because if you
I think
picked
it's
it,
I
I was
think
like,
most of that music is ripped straight from the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. But hey,
yeah, and
as
that one's
long as you
not
find it.
technically, but it was definitely from the same album because the
Yeah,
chain was definitely from
that's
that.
true. I do love the Chains credit. It's good. That's a good song
Yeah.
too. That
Um
gets me amped up.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was just definitely a song I remember. I was gonna just skip to high school when it comes to like my nostalgia.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I didn't really feel too much about nostalgia when I was younger in middle school. I guess a little bit. I had some fun going to Disneyland and no, I think I only went to California Adventure when I was there. I mean, obviously, I have so much with like Disneyland. Going all the time until I was like 8. And I was like, I don't want to go anymore, Dad. I don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning.
yeah,
And yeah, that was nice, to go with people and not be with my parents for the first time. Um, and that was really nice. But besides that, and maybe just the fact that I had my own comic book club, but at the same time, the person that ran the comic book club the year prior was upset with me. But I'm like, dude, you're the one that took like a hot minute to like submit an application for the
yeah,
club. All right, that is your fault. But at the same time, I wish I ran it better. But at the same time, it was just something fun for me to do. I do still feel like nostalgia hanging out with all of them.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, nostalgia when I was like in high school, like freshman year is probably one of my either my first or second favorite year. Um, which says a lot, I
yeah,
think, when it comes to my high school experience. Because I was just I felt nostalgia for uploading the stop motions because people liked them,
yeah,
and like people just liked, just how it was, and the
Uh-huh.
writing got a little bit better because my dad wrote some of it.
Yeah.
So, I had a lot of fun doing that, and people thought it was cool. So, definitely have some nostalgia for that. And then, I don't know. I mean, I've never been the ladies' man, Sam. One thing I was gonna say was when
You
I was
come on with
younger,
that strong jawline.
I thought so, but I just can't riz them up, I guess.
They're lying. Yeah, that's terrible. That's
But
terrible.
I was gonna say that there was just this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that I lived pretty close to her when I was younger, and I thought she was kind of cute, so I was just like, whoa. So I was just wanting to start something, but I never talked to her, and she never knew who I was.
Oh,
I
I see.
just
So it was
always
like the
saw her. I
stalker. It was like the stalker love,
Of
is what you're telling
course,
me.
but
Yeah.
look, I was in high school. I was like, you know, not even 17 yet. So
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but I'm not condoning just, you know, but I didn't do anything like crazy, I don't think. I didn't go over to her house while she was sleeping or something.
Hey, man,
But
you're bringing that up. I didn't
uh,
even say anything. All right. Yeah. Hold on.
I think the only reason I'm nostalgic though was just the fact that it was just so simple back then in that sense. But at the same time it wasn't, because I was always stressed out that, like, I was always really upset with myself that I never did it. And I
Yeah.
never went over to her and said hi. I only did it once, and that was with this other friend of mine. She was just like, I'll help you talk to her. And I was like, all right, sure. I went up to her. I was on my phone
Yeah.
most of the time,
Yeah.
on my Snapchat or something,
Come on,
and
John.
I was just like, hi. And then she was like, hi. And obviously she was very nice, but I was just not, that socially inept back then, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, man,
yeah,
phones. That's the thing. It's phones and
dude.
confidence. Those are the. It's you need because phones kill confidence because you just
Yeah. But I was like a
deprive yourself.
freshman when that happened. So I wouldn't do that nowadays, but I will have to say that I'm definitely, you know, I still feel weird about that, because that was just around the time where I was like, I'm really having a good time. 2017 is probably my most nostalgic time besides 2015, when that
Yeah.
song from the Peanuts movie, by Megan Trainor, better, feel better when I'm dancing, or whatever that song is. That one's
Uh.
a banger. I don't know why that song just, like, it came out during the middle school time I was talking about, where I'm like, oh, I'm not that nostalgic for, but
Yeah.
that song, a banger. But I was just saying that, I didn't, you know, I didn't have like a girlfriend or
Yeah.
anything. So I was just like, that would be cool. I'm like in high school. That's when it's supposed to happen. So I was, just, you know, I always compared it when I read the book, The Great Gatsby. I was always comparing it to that, like I was
Yeah.
comparing it to how,
So
I'm
you've got the literal
past.
unrequited love in your nostalgic story. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but at the same time, Gatsby had the balls to talk to Daisy.
Yeah, but he also got shot.
He also got
So
shot.
you win some, you lose some. You haven't been shot yet, so that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
like, yeah. At least there's no what was his name? Like Nick in the book? I don't. Oh no, Nick was the narrator. I forgot what the other male character was that was dating or married to Daisy, but yeah, he's whack.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just thought it was cool that she was just like, I was actually able to talk to her when I was in 2017. But then, after that, just never did it again. And I was just
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I, during that time too, I was trying to make another Lego stop motion, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it was just like I couldn't, like, cuz I just didn't like how it was looking. I was getting more strict about how I wanted it to look. So it definitely got in the way, and I think it also had to do with the fact that I didn't have the right technology. I just
Yeah.
had an iPad and
Yeah.
just some. like
Yeah, I mean,
house
that's pretty
lamps.
good though. That's pretty good to try, even with just the limited technology,
But
I mean,
I couldn't. I just couldn't make it because I was just like, it's so not what I want it to look like.
yeah,
But nowadays I could probably make it how I want it to look, but I wouldn't want to do the same script, even though I do because it was a good script.
yeah,
But the script was mainly just about, my show was kind of like The Simpsons a little bit. It had a family and it had some other stuff. So it was just gonna be about like the kid of the family and his friends doing a science project, and
yeah.
they all split off and then learned more about the other. So
That sounds pretty
that
good. That sounds
was
pretty chill actually. It doesn't sound too like ridiculous, high
like,
stakes, life or death,
yeah, one found out that the parents don't care about him, and the other found out that the parents don't care about him, but he's rich,
Mm,
and he's the bully.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
that could be
I
good.
thought that was, just interesting. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was just something that I was trying to make for a long time. I was really sad because I wanted to make it, and it was been like 2 years since I uploaded, and I was like, like
yeah,
I couldn't get it made. But at the same time, I'm happy I didn't get it made because I would be still making it now. And actually, one thing that saved me was, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about another thing first, but like, first I was gonna talk about theater because I don't even know if I would do the other thing if I wasn't in theater. I
yeah.
probably would, but I
Ah, so you
liked
were a
doing
theater kid.
theater. Yeah, I was supposed to do creative writing, but they said no. You need to fine art. So we're
Yeah.
putting you in.
Wow. So your school. So wait, your school offered creative writing?
Yeah, they did, and
Jeez, where'd you go? Did you go to Saugus?
Saugus, yeah.
Wow, dang, we didn't. I mean, dude, holy crap, that's crazy. We didn't have anything like that. We were like, I mean, the closest thing we had was journalism, but even then, that program's getting
That was
cut down
just
severely.
I mean, I was a freshman and I just said that seemed cool, but they're like, nope, you need a fine art. You're not
Yeah.
going in there. I'm like, okay, fine. And I did the first year of theater with Miss Painter, and she was just amazing. And also, I just loved the class so much that I wanted to do it another few years. Yeah, at the at the expense of the other people that were actually good at the theater. I don't know if
You wanted to make everyone else suffer.
I don't know if too many people liked me in the class. Thankfully, I made friends, but at the same time, I don't know how many people liked me in that class, just because I was kind of annoying, I'd say, and
It's all
also,
that's especially your teenage mind is all it's all very self-absorbing and self-obliterating. It's always like oh, everybody hates me. Everybody but really everybody's thinking that. I mean, that's like sometimes I'm reminded of times where yeah, there was one epiphany I had because I was getting in one of those loops in senior year of high school a little bit where I was like, oh my God, I said this thing and I can't stop thinking about how awful it was, or whatever, like, cringe inducing. And then, but then I'd have moments where people would be apologizing for me, apologizing to me about things that they had said that I'd completely forgotten about. And I was like, oh, obviously that's not the case for everyone, but I'm sure it's a case for a lot of people that they, they get so in their heads about what's, what's their perception of them outside of
yeah,
themselves that everyone forgets.
I can
Everyone
never
forgets.
imagine you getting mad at somebody. I feel like you probably do
Just
sometimes.
wait. No, yeah, yeah. You're on the cusp, John. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I don't really. I mean, unless it's like I think it is, as Robert De Niro says in Casino, it's you got to have trust. If you don't have trust, if somebody's a liar, if somebody's a repeat offender of a mistake, it's hard. It's hard to forgive someone for that.
Yeah. Some people just have flaws, and I feel like even like in those scenarios, you should. I mean, even if you feel like they are a repeat offender, you should talk to them about it and then figure
Yeah,
out like maybe they don't even realize they're doing it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
And it is.
just
It's
that
a good combo of having patience with people, and also with having patience with people.
and being aware of your time too, and also being
Exactly.
aware of like your
Exactly.
feelings, because
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes people just like literally abandon that, and that's not okay.
Yeah, you need to be able
Um,
to
yeah.
watch yourself, watch your energy.
So yeah, I mean that was just the main thing with me when it comes to nostalgia, is just that 2017, literally. I mean, I guess there's other stuff like Obviously, I did the theater
Always.
for 4 years, but
Yeah.
um, there was also video production, and that was
Yeah.
something I was nostalgic about because that's when I started. That's how I got into Premiere Pro. That's how I
Yeah.
got out of trying to just do the same stop motion over and over again because I had to do other short films, and I
Yeah.
ended up actually doing a
Yeah.
stop
Push you out of
motion
your
in that
comfort.
class,
Oh, that's great. That's a
and it
really good
was
use.
Taurus in the Hair, and I actually got I got a bunch of best ofs in the class, but
Nice.
also I also uh got a good program. I got Dragon Frame, and it's one of the best programs because now I have it forever,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Just one and done
And
purchase. That's good.
it is amazing. I haven't used it at all in a while, but I'm hoping to.
Yeah.
I actually plan to make stop motion when I have enough money, but it's gonna take a while, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even just enough money; it's some time too.
Yeah.
I want like 5,000 for it. It's gonna be
Wow.
just Squid Game, the last 20 minutes of the first episode, red light, green light. When he wakes up, it would just be awesome. It would literally be the most like crazy stop motion I've ever done. But I might do something else later,
Yeah,
like
you should.
that's smaller,
Because if you're
but
gonna
at the
raise
same, yeah,
if you're gonna raise money for it, you should do an original concept. I think because
yeah,
then you have ownership of it. Then you can say, hey, you can show it to somebody, and there's no asterisk attached of, well, I made it, but it's a fan project or it's a recreation.
yeah,
It's just like,
exactly.
because that's like I spent like a lot of time. I spent weeks on and I'm still working on it technically, but I wanted to do an action movie slash war film slash thing because I just kind of have that itch in my brain. Um,
Nice.
and I did a Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if you ever played Modern Warfare 2, but I
No,
did
I have
Modern.
not.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, man, where have you been?
Okay, you know
is it
what? Look, all I play is Fortnite.
Oh God, Philistine. I
You're so mad, bro.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I play. Yeah, it was based on. There's a big twist in the original game. There's a big betrayal, and so the whole film was centered around that. Where it's kind of like it's kind of like a who done it and a little bit some of that stuff. And I really like it, and it's a lot of fun, and the action's cool. But at the same time, I don't have ownership over it. I can't be like, oh yeah, and this is unequivocally mine. This is completely my project, and and you could save yourself from that nightmare
Making
with
an original concept, yeah.
making your own concept, and it could be similar, but it's
Yeah.
still
I'm thinking
yours.
I'll just do um like a either a smaller or a bigger project, like something that's like either 5 minutes or like an hour long. And the
Yeah,
only reason is that I still want to do that project, but at the same time, I think I should make something where I prove my skills, and then you know they'll think that's. I think I'll probably have it a longer project then, just so that later on I'm like, number one, I know that I can do even longer than the
yeah,
project that I want to do, and second of all, that one will seem more like cool because it's longer and probably more epic. But I
right.
still want to do the Squid Game one just because I think it would actually be cool, but I'll still think about it because I might not even like the show anymore. I still got to rewatch it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was just such a cool scene, and
yeah,
it's like literally the one of the things that inspired me to do some stuff, and I thought it was just like one of the best shows I saw.
yeah,
There's just a lot of things I'm nostalgic about now thinking about it. Like after I graduated, obviously graduating, jeez, and then there was the fact that around that time I started using dating apps, and I was like, dang, that was nice.
yeah.
I only feel like I'm
Wow, did you get
nostalgic
game?
during
Did you
that.
get game on
No,
this dating app?
actually, no, because I didn't drive, and I still don't,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I should, because if I do, then that's where you get it.
Then you could get some game, dog. Yeah. Wait, you
Of
gonna go to your
course,
house? No, this is not how that
exactly,
works.
bro.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
at the same
Not that
time,
I not that I condone that, of course.
of
That's
course, of
terrible.
course.
But anyway,
But
yeah.
I think the main thing is that like either they want you to pick them up, or at the same time There's other situations where they're just far away because there's not that much game out here, Sam. There's
No,
just
you gotta
a
go.
bunch
You
of them
gotta
in
go
Los
into the valley
Angeles.
for sure.
It sucks, dude. I want them here.
Yeah.
I want them here.
Yeah.
I want them 5 blocks away.
The
um,
call is coming from inside the house. Yeah. No, I know. I know.
yeah,
I know it
so
goes.
yeah, I mean that was kind of cool when I was younger.
Mm.
Those dating apps, and then obviously I started my job around that point. It's actually funny because I'm not gonna say who it was, but I guess they'll know who it is. One of my coworkers was on those dating apps. And I ended up going on
Oh,
a
did
date
you
with her.
match with your coworker?
Yeah, that was fun.
Wow. Nice.
And I'm happy that it didn't work out because I actually do see her more as a friend, but only just because I feel like, in the beginning I was just like, whoa, this is like crazy. I never thought a girl would actually want to go on a a
A
date from
date
these
with
apps.
you. Yeah. No, I know.
Well,
I know.
just mainly on the apps. And she seemed interested. She asked for my social medias, but at the end of the day, I mean, uh, we're still close, so it's all good. And
Yeah.
I am actually really happy we didn't because they're I mean we're trying to go down the same job goals or whatever and everything, but and that's cool. I just don't think I would want to date someone that's trying to do the same thing. I want
Yeah.
them to do their own thing. I mean, of course they're doing their own thing, but
Interesting. You
totally
wouldn't prefer to date somebody that has similar interests.
maybe film, but not like doing the exact thing I'm trying to do, like be a director.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess it's just
you
so
what?
I
You don't want competition.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
So I
that's what it
can have
sounds
the
like.
power.
Jeez. Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like I struggle to that's a big thing for me is I struggle to meet people that uh care as passionately about the field that I'm in, and like it is, I struggle with people that are like, why do you like this thing? And it's like, oh, just cause, which there is a validity to that, and there's things that I like because of that reasoning too. But there's also, I think, a great like critical thinking is really attractive to me. Like which is weird, which it shouldn't be a lot to ask for, and everybody critically thinks, but it's just about like what do you critically think about?
I do think that simple people are not as attractive as very complex thinking people, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't want them to be too complex thinking where they're kind of like narcissistic or
Well, yeah, you don't want
ignorant.
somebody to
But
have
some of them are, which is
baggage,
annoying.
or whatever. There's people that are complex thinkers, and then there are people that have complex problems, and it's like you don't really you don't want to date somebody that has complex problems. Not that you don't outright, but it's just as on a surface appraisal,
I
a
think
surface
it's
appraisal
good. Yeah.
level.
I think it's good because when I talk to my friends, they're like, "You're so like simple," or like not simple, but like
Ouch.
your problems are not that bad, They're
Yeah,
just like, "Oh, this," and it's
yeah.
like,
You don't attract drama onto yourself.
yeah, and it's mainly just because when I was younger, I had a lot when I was younger with like this is something I'm not nostalgic about at all, but during the time I couldn't get my, stop motion done, I was getting into these like, Discord servers and I was talking to these people and there was drama. And it's like, I don't even know these people and there was drama. And I like got really stressed out because of it because like they were trying to turn against me and everything. And it just
Jeez.
sucked for
Yeah,
me because I was
yeah,
like 14 or 15
yeah,
worrying about this stuff. And
yeah,
I'm like, after that, I'm like, I don't want that kind of stuff to happen to me.
yeah.
And that was probably the most complex thing that's ever really happened to me, I'd say. Everything
That's
else
good.
is just pretty small, I'd say.
Yeah,
Or
that's
I try
good.
to
I
look
mean,
at it
it is.
so
It's
that
the
it's
oops. I accidentally clicked wave. It's like the. It is probably good that it happened young. I mean, even though that sounds like that really sucked. You've ingrained it probably in your mind of just wanting to avoid that.
yeah, so I don't really want that. And I'm happy that doesn't happen too much with
Yeah,
me, so that's good.
yeah.
Um I don't know, there's definitely some other stuff I'm nostalgic about. My first time on campus for
Really.
school
Wow.
was 2022 because 2021 I just did online classes. And 2022 was just fun because I was doing film stuff and that was really fun to do.
Yeah.
And I loved just being with those people. and making those projects. Those are so simple times, and those, like, I mean, I see them now and they're like just totally different. It's like, what? I saw you like a year ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're not that
Everything
much different.
changed.
You're
Yeah,
literally basically the same. I don't know how it happened, but
yeah,
I think they just had a bunch of more experience because they met different people.
yeah,
So that's another thing. I think in college you probably, get a little faster in it. I think I'm still basically the same as I was like a year ago when it comes to film stuff, but I think I am a little bit better now.
yeah,
But that's only because I'm just a little bit more aware of like how to use like camera. But I don't know. I think I'm still having like the same like stuff I used to have, So
yeah.
I don't know. Uh, yeah, I mean, the last thing I was nostalgic about that was like the most like recent was probably actually, well, there's two. So there's one. It's another girl. I'm not gonna talk about them after this. I promise. It was just this girl that I thought.
Uh,
I mean, that liked me. She was just on the apps, and she was just I don't know. She was just kind of cute, and I was just surprised because I was like, "Whoa, you're like popular. It seems maybe not in real life, but definitely on social media." And it's like,
yeah,
"Whoa." No, she's not like popular, but she's like, people I would assume that the people that follow her, you know, follow her for a reason. I don't know.
yeah,
No, not for like lewd reasons. I don't think, but you never know.
yeah,
And I don't know. I just thought it was just interesting, but I definitely I don't know how I screwed the pooch with that one, but it was just I was just like, whoa, like you're so into me, but now you're not. And I
yeah.
guess
That's how it goes sometimes. People
yeah,
just,
and she's just definitely not the kind of personality I would want to be with because I do remember obviously because I uh went up to talk with her and in person and she was just like, oh yeah, I'm like this, but then I was realizing when I was talking to her, like, I don't know if I feel like a warmth that I usually
yeah,
feel when I'm talking to somebody.
yeah,
I felt like a distance even though she wasn't like that distant. She was just acting like a normal person.
yeah,
And she seemed
yeah,
interested. It was just the fact that I could feel like
yeah.
a
No, it is. It is. It's a
coldness. I
hard.
don't know what it was. It felt
Sometimes
like
it's
AI. It was
just.
weird.
Well, sometimes it's just switching people. Where they're really interested in someone, and then and then finally they're dating or they're together, and and that mystique and that intrigue and the romantic tension dissipates, and you're just kind of left with the person, and sometimes people internalize what's happened in their other relationships that they've witnessed, and maybe they're just acting how their parents act or whatever, and they just kind of exhibit that even though that's not really who they are. It's just something about a relationship that brings it out of them.
So I don't know. We didn't even like date. It was just me just meeting her up, and then I was gonna go on a date with her, but then just never worked out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not too mad about it because if it
Are
was
you
supposed to
nostalgic
happen, it was
about it?
supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it felt like a certain way, and that was around
Yeah.
the time my sister left, and my mom left, so I was kind of just it was just her. So I was just, and I guess my dad was here. It's just like the fact that I don't really have a lot of like people in the house, and I
Yeah.
was sick at the time, so I wasn't going out, and I was like, whoa, because when I went up to meet her, I was not sick anymore, but
Yeah.
it was definitely like I had to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, definitely something I'm nostalgic about, I'd say. Uh, the last thing I'm nostalgic about was the last time I went to Arkansas, 'cause that was more fun than this time, because I
I see.
actually broke my laptop, which
Yeah, that's less fun.
that's why it didn't come out this Monday, but
Yeah.
it will come out
Blame John.
this
It's not my
Monday,
fault. I
which is
swear.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is my fault. I can confirm. Even if I got it recorded with him the day we were planning to, well, first off, I waited a little too long to record with him that day, and second of all, it wouldn't have worked out because I would have still needed to edit it and everything. Even though I don't really edit these, I literally just put it in the
Clearly.
timeline, just upload. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You
That's just
time
what
code it.
happens.
Yeah.
And you know, uh, that was probably just the last time because I had ice cream that was really good. It was Cold Stone. Oh, not Cold. Why am I saying Cold Stone? It was Bluebell.
Mm.
It was called Crazy Cookie Dough.
Yeah.
Best ice cream. That is literally nostalgia right there. It's literally so just regular chocolate chip cookie dough. It's basically just
Uh-huh.
cookie dough pieces with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
This one is cookie dough pieces, but they're sugar cookie dough, and the ice cream base is like cake batter,
Mm.
and it's
Whoa.
delicious.
That sounds crazy good.
It's so crazy they call it crazy cookie dough, and it's amazing.
Okay. You're
Those are the
done.
okay,
Get off. Yeah.
okay, one more thing I'm nostalgic about.
All right.
Queen for a Day.
What?
Filming Queen for a Day. It was just a short film that I made,
Mm.
and that was really nostalgic for me because a lot of people thought it was good, and although there were some problems with it and there was some drama that happened, I thought it was overall a fun experience. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
I don't know why it took so long talking about my nostalgia, but at the same time, Sam just decided to, you know, give us all of his nostalgia in 20 minutes. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm
Hey,
just
I'm
saying.
just efficient. Don't blame me.
I know
It's
I'm
a
not efficient,
I'm a
but I like.
product. I'm a product of my English class. It's everything was like, are you using the right perspective, first person, third person? Yeah, no. But yeah, no
All
problem.
right, we can talk about these two things because I think they're gonna go by pretty fast. Because we'll just probably talk about it for like 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, audience,
So
get your
first
timers
one.
out. If he's wrong,
Okay,
I'm
no
suing.
worries. Okay, first one is negative. First one is the negative impact of like nostalgia. So I mean, we already discussed this a little bit, where it's like
Yeah,
you have this rose tinted glasses, and you also have this thing where it's like you want somebody to like you in a certain way, or maybe you just want to feel something that you haven't felt before, or
yeah,
go back to a feeling that you felt back then.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I think, I mean, I think like if you were on the note of relationships, like like the one of my relationships was there was times where like I even like the last couple months, I'd be looking back and I'd be like, if we're talking about downsides of nostalgia, it'd be looking back and I was remembering and I was like, oh wow, this was a great memory that I had with this person. This was a lot of fun and oh, we had a great day this day and we did all these amazing things and she made this really funny joke one time and all this stuff. And and then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, well, there was that, but it was also she did some things and I did some things that were just like they're just awful. It was like, oh yeah, this was terrible. This was never gonna work, and it's like, and that's where I'll catch myself going, what the hell was I thinking? It's like, yeah, obviously, even if it's just for 10, 15 minutes, where I'm like romanticizing, you know, the most uh easy to digest parts of the relationship, I look back and I'm like, oh, I'm completely misconstruing. I'm taking this out of its context, which is nostalgia. Is removing it from its ulterior connotations. And I think like, I mean, like personally negative nostalgia. I mean, like the negative effects of nostalgia. I think it is a lot of stuff like that. And I think the negative parts of nostalgia can make you melancholy uh, to what you should just be enjoying. You sometimes, there is an appreciation of the past, and
you gotta
uh,
appreciate the now a lot.
exactly,
Being the
exactly,
thing, making new memories. One thing you notice is that when you start something, you have more nostalgia about that than what you have about it right now. Like I probably feel more nostalgic about the start of my job than I do right now, and I
yeah,
have more nostalgia for when I started, you know, going to class in person than I do
yeah,
now. Because now I'm
yeah,
like, ugh, it sucks. But in the beginning, it was good because it was new. You just have
yeah.
to do new things. I
Fresh
think
experiences.
is
Yeah,
the
well, it's
main
it's
thing.
even like video games, like
Negative
the old.
impact, like, is that you stick with the same stuff over and over again. It's insanity.
Yeah,
Albert Einstein would just say, "Make new memories."
yeah,
Maybe not in
yeah.
that voice, but yeah.
No, in that exact voice. That's actually John actually brought in a live recording of Albert Einstein. It was great. He was
Right
really,
after Oppenheimer, he
yeah, he was
was.
really quick like that. It was impressive. But and like, okay, I'm gonna get macro again. I think nostalgia, like, I think a lot of global conflict, even wars, you'll look at the thing that drove a lot of people was a fictional version of reality that they believe they're returning themselves to. You know, like uh you look at like, it's a little hot, a little hot and heavy, but like the Civil War was the South remembered the Articles of the Confederation, which we didn't even use anymore, and they were like, yeah, we rebelled from the English, so we can rebel too, and we'll be free and fine. We can do whatever we want. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not the reality, and it never really was the reality. Or even World War One was the Germans felt like they used to have a much stronger nation, and and obviously there was a
Yep.
lot of treaties and things like that were broken that led up to their involvement, but it still was a sense of nostalgia of, oh, remember, nationalism of like, well, we were this strong country and we were this strong identity, and we're not anymore, so we need to re-solidify that.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
thing too. It's like this, comparison, it's limited thinking.
yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
just thinking that you're, small and weak, so then you can obviously do like these horrific acts of humanity, but also at the
yeah,
same time, does it really matter? You can be strong. Even if
yeah.
you've lost this much land, you can come back from that.
Yeah,
Like it
exactly.
was
And it drives it. Nostalgia does sometimes is it drives the people that are in power to achieve that nostalgic dream in the most blunt, direct, violent way possible. I mean, that's Ukraine right now. Is it's literally just like, hey, remember when we were the Soviet Union? Let's just do that again. And it's like, and that's the rabbit hole that he's falling into, is he rushed this giant invasion, and all these innocent people are getting caught in the way, and it's nostalgia. That's the only it's the memory, and also economics, and that's important part. That's more critical, but I think the basis of that is the memory of what once was. And that's what's crazy, is you have these people that are in charge that are just people, and the feelings that you and I have of, oh man, remember when that was great? I can make small steps to get closer to that memory materially, but I'll only get so close. And then you have these people that run countries of hundreds of millions, if not billions of people, that go, remember when? I know I have all these people that can do it for me, and then you fall into that trap. So I would say that's definitely a negative part of nostalgia, and also, you know, just kind of rewriting history a little bit, re-remembering history. Like there's parts of myself that are like, I love the 1800s. They were so interesting. It was so cool. But then I'm also like, oh yeah, nobody had rights. Nobody had rights for almost all of human history except for white property owners. Um,
Yeah, if you think about it, now is always pretty much better, but at the
yeah,
same time, you
nebulously,
can make your present. You can't make your past, you
exactly,
know? So it's
exactly.
like do what you can now to make it better. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's the main reason people have like, this whole thing about nostalgia. It's just like they can't make their lives better right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a great point.
Do you have anything else to say about the negative impact of nostalgia?
I think that's, yeah. I
All
don't
right.
know. I want to
Then
hear what you
we'll
think,
Oh, okay. Well, the
or if
main
you if
thing
you have anything to say. I don't want
Oh, the main thing I was just gonna say was just yeah, it just affects people decisions in negative ways, and also at the same time, just makes people not feel as good about the present.
Yeah,
Is
that's
the main
yeah,
thing I was gonna
exactly.
say. The positive impact, of course, I feel like it can bring people together if they have similar memories,
Yeah,
and at the same time, you know, uh, being nostalgic isn't really a problem if you like the present, but I mean, there's always like these good films. I mean, this is kind of negative and positive, but like, the films that come out, sometimes are just based on nostalgia, but some of them are pretty good, but some of them
yeah.
are kind of
That's
bad,
true. I didn't even
like
think about
Lion
that.
King 2019.
That's yeah. That's a good point, actually. I didn't even think about the commercialization, the capitalization of nostalgia. That I would put that.
Ghostbusters
Yeah,
2016.
yeah. All of it. I mean, all of it. It's all so like that's all of Star
Pixar.
Wars and Marvel right now. Is just like, remember when we used to be good? And it's like, yeah, I do. And I wish it was just good. Um,
That's the
you
thing
know,
too. It like it That's the thing that sucks about nostalgia. There's not really too many good things about it besides the fact that it makes you feel good.
well, I
It's
think
like
it.
caffeine.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, I think it's, I think nostalgia is. net a good emotion, and I think it's just that recently it's become kind of hijacked by these corporations. But I think nostalgia is good. I think the plus sides of nostalgia are definitely. I think it reminds you that there was something good. Especially like I think most people think that there are things that are good, but if you're in a really dark
Yeah,
place,
it can help
sometimes
you. Like it's all about mentality. It can help you
yeah,
through things.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it doesn't have to drive you to, long for it, but also at the same time do dumb things like you were talking about where the Germans just thought that they were so amazing and then they just became Nazis.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So
very, very large oversimplification, but yeah, that I made. But put that in a history book. Yeah, that'll go good. But
yeah, then put a mustache.
yeah. Hey, you said it,
So
not me.
I did, yes. I can confirm. But
Yeah,
no, I mean, I just don't think it's too big of a deal that it's you know, that people are
yeah,
nostalgic for things, but at the same time, companies just try to monetize it. But you know what? We can change this into a positive. When they're doing that, capitalism. All right, boom. At least better than communism. I'm just saying.
that's true. It's true. It's just a
They can make
fact.
their Lion King 2019s, but at least Lenin's not in charge. You know what I'm saying?
I suppose. I suppose. Yeah. What's better, unranked capitalism or
Getting
communism?
erased from
Let's
photos.
yeah. Let's let the listener decide. Vote
Yeah.
vote in this week's poll. You should make a poll this week and then let people vote. I have no idea how this works. I'm just
No,
shouting out ideas.
you probably
Um,
could. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
this is a very fun podcast.
attach a Google form.
You have anything you'd like to say about nostalgia, like just overall?
Um, yeah, I remember when nostalgia was good. No, I think nostalgia is a critical human emotion. It's like it's like love or needing to poop. It's a part of our biology.
Or
I think.
hatred? I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. And I think it's like with all things, with moderation, the better it is. And
Just like caffeine.
yeah, exactly. And
Sorry,
well,
I've been
I
getting
can't say.
addicted to caffeine
Yeah,
recently.
no, dude. I know. It's
The
coffee, a
next
cup of
episode
coffee
will
every
be
morning.
about coffee, so
Oh, you're
that's
kidding me. That should have been my subject. Oh, that's amazing.
no. Well, this guy is actually like, he's like my sister's husband. He used to be like a barista at like a few places, and he's really into coffee.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be an
that's
interesting
amazing. That's
episode.
good.
And
He'll actually have
so
he's actually an expert on a subject. That's good. I
that's
would
why I
I would
like
just
getting him in.
I would have no idea what I was talking about.
Exactly.
But
But at least you tried with
that's
nostalgia.
right. At least it was. You know what it was? It was A for effort. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with me, nostalgia, every time I think of the word, I just think of nostalgia critic. But
That's
I
too bad.
I even think of like, my childhood and stuff like that. That's why I was a little concerned about the thumbnail because I was like, oh, it just looks like we're talking about our childhood, but no, we're talking about I mean, kind of, but
Talking about
we're
all
also
sorts of
talking
things.
about the sorts of things, and I mean, it is kind of basically what nostalgia is, your childhood and like just anything you've felt in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It
and
is
but
totally
like you
nebulous.
said too, that it's like something you don't even have to experience and you feel nostalgia for. So
Yeah, yeah. It's
you know,
crazy,
who knows?
inexplicable.
All right. I think we can end it there. I was gonna say, Sam, do you have anything you'd like to shout out? Like any social medias, any things you're working on, your
Oh,
OnlyFans, those
well,
fun
if you
things.
insist, yeah. So my OnlyFans actually just reduced in price, so I would highly recommend subscribing. Got some really good content on there, for the whole family. But I would, that's I appreciate that opportunity. Maybe I will. I'll shamelessly plug myself right now. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at Salmonella, which is a little pun combination of my first name and last name. It's SAMMENELLA, and I just post about my life and about films that I'm making and movie reviews and pretty pretty substandard film major, you know, nothing too crazy. And yeah, yeah. And if I'll let people know when things are coming up that I'm working on, if anybody wants to work on them. And yeah, and I've got a YouTube channel too. We just recently released a Western music video. And pretty proud of that. It's probably the best thing I've made yet. But you can be the judge and rip it apart. Um, yeah, that's all I've got. I appreciate you having me on, John. I've been on two podcasts before, and this was definitely the
Top
longest and
3.
probably the deepest. That's there's a lot of innuendos you could make there, but I'm not the one to make them.
Yeah, it'll just be my glorious fans.
That's right.
But
Yeah, exactly.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, thanks for being on. I'm just gonna put you on the spot here. You still have to follow me on Instagram.
Oh my
Um,
God, am I not following you on Instagram?
yeah, and you guys should follow me too. It's just
Yikes.
John. It's just my name, and you will.
I will, John Lee. I'll do it.
You should do right now. Okay, I'll shut up. But I was gonna, just end this off. I was gonna say, yeah, just let me know how you guys feel about Sam in the comments below. Let me know if you'd like to. Oh,
Is he
what's up?
based or is he cringe?
Yeah, let me.
You
Yeah,
decide.
is he based or cringe? Let me know if you'd like to hear from him again.
Yeah.
I sure do.
Let me know in the
Thanks.
comments down below. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast, and you will see me next week talking to somebody else about something else. So yeah, hopefully you liked this episode about nostalgia, and yeah, hopefully you're nostalgic about this one and the next one. Just a little pun there. I'll see you guys I guess in a few days, not next week, but I just said that. All right. See you guys later.
Later.